Hi guys, we are back to live again. I'm Gigi and this is
Nisaa.
So today we're going to talk about product registration for NOT, which is notification, and then MAL for traditional and health supplement, and also fruit classification, and another hot topic which is Halal will be covered by Nisaa, our Halal exec. Okay, so the first question is, what are the different product registration types in Malaysia? Okay, so usually if you want to register your product, which is mostly for food and skincare. So for food there is two category. Is it two or more?
Sorry again? I'm here.
Okay. For food there is few category. There is under MAL, which is under MAL there is traditional line, health supplement, poison and drugs. But we will cover two category only, which is health supplement and traditional. And then another product registration is for cosmetic, which is falls under notification. So why are they important? So in order for your product to get registered product, and is to
Registered with the ministry.
It's registered under Ministry of Health, and to prove that the product is safe for public use. So yes, you need to register your product. And then
Also, you have to register because in Malaysia, before you market it, you have to register. So we have two types. Later, Gigi will be talking about whether your product falls under food or under pharmaceutical. Maybe you want to talk more the difference between food and pharmaceutical, especially health supplement, because the term itself, sometimes customers are a bit confused.
yes,
Especially health supplement. It might be from a layman terminology, health supplement could be like anything that you don't consume it on a daily basis, like probably like your collagen ring and all that, right? So the customer usually have a hard time distinguishing, and they usually use it interchangeably between food and health supplement. For our understanding or our registration processes, we distinguish food and have supplement by looking at the ingredient actually.
Ingredients and label claim, and what's the function of your product. So before we decide your product falls under which category, at first we need to submit submit a registration, which is we call food classification. Is it?
Yeah, so we classify your product.
Not we.
Ministry of Health
Ministry
will
of Health.
classify it whether it falls under food category or pharmaceutical category. For example, let's take meal replacement drink. Okay, so in meal replacement, the ingredient would be like soy protein, some fiber in it, and so when customer comes to us and they immediately use the word health supplement, the term itself from our perspective is different, because even though you might think it as health supplement under ministry, under KKM, that is categorized under food. There is some ingredients that will make the food product falls under health supplement. For example, you put in vitamins. What else? Some ingredient that is listed under with ministry that will fall it under pharmaceutical product. If not, it will fall under food. So to start with, we usually advise you to do the product classification first.
Yes, to classify whether your product is for food or for ML. So usually if you want to register your product for MAL, the registration will take quite a long time. Minimum is 6 months, and then the longest maybe can take 1 year to 2 years. So it depends on your ingredient also, and what do you want to claim on the product.
For the product classification, it doesn't take long.
Usually 1 week.
1 week, 1 to 2 weeks. Depending on how complicated your product is. Within 1 to 2 weeks, they will give the classification, the result, the report lah to you, the document itself. Okay, so maybe you want to talk if it falls under food, if it falls under pharmaceutical, or you want to focus on pharmaceutical?
We are major in both way. Either it's food or pharmaceutical. We also able to advise customers whether they want their product to first under food or pharmaceutical. You can consult with us, no problem. So the process is not that difficult and not that easy also. So I also need to know what is your product type and category, then only we can advise better lah. So during this live, we are just summarize what we can do, and we hope to see your PM or more inquiries with us so that we can help you better. And the next one, okay, we haven't talked about skincare NOT. So for NOT registration is quite simple. It doesn't need much hardship like the MAL. Usually it will take about 1 week in order for your product, skincare or cosmetic to get approved by the MOH. So usually both of MAL and NOT registration, the validity will take about 2 years. So after that, you can keep renewing for the following years. So okay, I think that's the part of KKM. Next is the halal process.
Okay, so for halal itself, all the other registration like the NOT, the MAL, product classification, that one is mandatory. You have to do it before you market it in Malaysia. But for halal, you have to understand it's optional. It's not mandatory. If you want to apply it, it's a plus point for your product because it appeals to especially Malaysia, the Muslim country. Majority are Muslim and they will want to see the halal logo on your product. Okay, so about halal application, usually it takes around
6 months or so.
I think it can be shorter. It actually depends on how fast JAKIM process your application. Sometimes when they don't have a lot of backlog, I've seen 3 to 4 months around that. But usually you give an estimation, a time lead of around 6 months just to get it done with. And also once you're done getting the halal registration, then you can only put your halal logo on your packaging.
Oh, so I cannot put the halal logo first?
No, until you get the halal certification. It's definitely wrong against the law for if you put halal logo on your product when in fact you haven't even registered halal.
It's misleading.
It's not by law itself. The government can take action. Yeah, so then you don't want to get penalty on that. So if you don't have halal logo, it's fine not to have any halal logo on halal certification on your product. But you can only put halal logo once you get the certification from JAKIM. Okay, so for halal itself, we have a few categories also. We have the food under food products, and the pharmaceutical, cosmetic, household.
For category, right?
There are a few like logistic also. We have halal.
Logistic halal. Okay.
And then the slaughterhouse, the premise, the restaurant. Also, we have that few category. So for our relevancy, I'll be talking more on cosmetic, on food, on pharmaceutical. So just now, the pharmaceutical, we have health supplement category and we have traditional category. So these two category, although by the ministry standard, it's different category, but for halal under JAKIM, it's considered as under one category, under pharmaceutical category. So they don't differentiate between these two group. Okay, so under one category, you can put your halal, when you do your halal application, you can put how many ever product that under one certificate.
So what is so one application I can go with 10
2,
products.
3, 10, yeah, up to you. It can be, it will just be under one certification, and so it's more cost effective for you because then the processing fee will be just considered as one time, correct. So
how long is this how long is the certificate last for?
Okay, for food, for pharmaceutical, and cosmetic, food and pharmaceutical, the validity is 2 years. Only for cosmetic, the validity is 3 years.
Oh, 3 years.
Okay, so the pricing will be different a bit lah, in terms of for cosmetic, because the validity is longer. The processing fee is not 3 times, a bit higher than food and pharmaceutical. Okay, and then for you to apply halal certification, the first thing first is that you have to establish halal assurance system at your company, or company that does the manufacturing lah. So if you're a distributor, and you engage with another factory to do the production, to do the manufacturing, your company as a distributor doesn't have to set up the halal assurance system. Is it clear?
So only the manufacturer
yes,
need to establish the halal.
Correct. If you're just a distributor, it's not necessary for you to set up the system at your company.
But doesn't they need to store the product also? They need to apply warehouse halal?
That is not considered as
warehouse.
If it's already in final product, and then it doesn't matter it doesn't matter if the final product where you want to store your product, because even if there's contamination, the contamination does not go inside your product. So it's a plus point if you want to have halal committee in your and you have halal system in your company, but it's not necessary. So you don't have to be concerned if you don't establish one, but it is mandatory for your manufacturing side. Yeah. So if you're a manufacturer, then for you to apply for halal, then you need to have that system in place, and you need to have a dedicated halal exec that is certified by halal professional body. So this halal exec has to go for training, and then he or she will be implementing the system ongoing for the compliance. It's not just one-off, you apply for halal certification, you got it, and then that's it. Because once a year, they will come for audit. Minimum once a year. It depends on how crazy their schedule lah. Okay.
So they audit the whole factory, their manufacturing process.
Correct. So they during the audit, they will look at how your traceability system, how your manufacturing process is. They will look at all the documents needed. that is as a whole, they are auditing your system. When during the production, during the application for your product, they will also come audit. So every time you apply for certification, they will come for audit to look at the product itself, how the manufacturing process, the ingredient list, whether there is halal cert. If not, you must have product spec, and there's no we call it haram lah, haram material contamination, and all that. So that is byproduct. So you have two different auditing lah. Okay. What are the other questions?
What are the normal question? Any question on the floor that we can answer for you?
Yeah. Most of the time, customer comes to me and they are concerned about not having Muslim in their company. Then I will inform that it is totally fine. You don't need to have a Muslim working in your company. If you are a distributor only, you're not doing any manufacturing there, you don't need to have any Muslim staff. But if you are a manufacturer, at least you need to have two Muslims working at the production area and a halal exec.
That working on the document.
Correct, and on the system. Okay, so to give you a peace of mind, usually for distributor they will just engage a manufacturer that has already has halal in place, the halal assurance system. We call it the HAS system lah.
HAS.
Okay, that's about it for halal, I think. Other question? Let me think about the customer. Yeah, that's about it. That's the number one concern that when it comes to halal.
So today's topic will be up until here. So if you have any other questions, or you have something in mind, or you want to register your product, or any questions, you can just PM us. So we will reply you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Stop.